Welcome to Serial Killer Saturday, where each week we take a look at a different serial killer. And today we're traveling to Italy. Correggio in Reggio Emilia in the Po Valley in the north of Italy is a pretty little ancient town. It's famous for its dome frescoes, like this one, made by one of Italy's most famous Renaissance painters, Antonio Allegri, also known as Antonio di Correggio for the town that he's from. The tiny town, housing only some 25,000 people, is also famous for incidents involving soap making. Humans have known how to make tallow soaps for thousands of years. They are simply soaps made by mixing fat with lye. The soap in this incident, though, was unique. Leonardo Cianciulli is known as the Soapmaker of Correggio. She married a man that her mother did not approve of and would claim that her mother put a curse on the two of them. After moving to her husband's hometown, she was imprisoned for fraud in 1927. When she was released from prison, she moved with her husband to Lacedonia, where her house was destroyed by an earthquake. She then moved with her husband to Correggio, where she opened a shop. I can't say she was a respected and popular woman in town. Like many women in the early 20th century in her region, she had a large number of children. There were 3 miscarriages, 10 children who died in childhood, and 4 survived. It may be a result of all that loss that she became an extremely protective mother. Or it may have been the fortune teller who told her she would suffer all of her children dying young. Or the palm reader, maybe, who told her that in her right hand there was a prison waiting and in the left hand a criminal asylum. 1939 would come around and bring change to all of Italy. War had broken out again in Europe, and Cianciulli's eldest son, Giuseppe, was to join the Royal Italian Army. Cianciulli was hell-bent to protect her son. Something in her mind would snap and she would do the unthinkable. Faustina Setti was a friend of Cianciulli who had never married. She approached Cianciulli to help her find a husband. Cianciulli told Faustina that there was a suitable man in Pola, but that it should remain secret. She had Faustina write a number of letters and postcards that would be mailed after she arrived in Pola to let relatives know that she was well. When Faustina visited Cianciulli one last time before leaving, Cianciulli killed her with an axe. She hid the body, dismembering her friend and draining her blood into a basin. She dissolved her friend with caustic soda or lye and emptied her into a septic tank. She used the blood to make, as she told police, quote, lots of crunchy tea cakes, end quote, that she served to visitors and to her son. She ate some herself. Setti would not be Cianciulli's last victim. The woman had to do more to protect her war-bound son. She told Francesca Suavi that she'd found a job for her in Placenza. She had Francesca write similar postcards to friends detailing her plans. When she made one last visit to Cianciulli, she too was killed. She too was turned into tea cakes. Her third victim was Virginia Ceccapo. She was to get a job in Florence, and she too would be killed on her final visit to Cianciulli. Her blood was also used to make tea cakes, but her body was used to make soap, which Cianciulli gave to neighbors and acquaintances. Along with the tea cakes and soap, Cianciulli received payment from the women, sold their clothes and their shoes, and received jewelry from at least one of the victims. Ceccapo's sister-in-law last saw her go into Cianciulli's home. and she became suspicious when her sister-in-law just suddenly disappeared. So she told police about her suspicions, that Ceccapo never went to Florence. Police arrested Cianciulli, but when they began to hint that maybe Giuseppe might be responsible for the disappearance, she confessed to the murders. She was found guilty and received a sentence of 30 years in prison and 3 years in a criminal asylum. She might have listened to that palm reader. She was never repentant for her crimes, thinking that she did everything she could as a good mother to protect her son, and she died in the asylum in 1970. If you're enjoying these videos and want more, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.